So it's 12:30. We were a bit late getting online today, so I'll just give everyone a minute just to come in. A couple of people just connecting, so we'll start at 12:31 instead. Okay, hope you're all well. I hope you're fit and well. If you do have any injuries or anything, obviously listen to your body. Don't sort of push yourself, especially just before Christmas. No one wants an injury at Christmas. So let's just enjoy the class today. So this class is on today, and then there's no class next week, but there is one on Christmas Eve, which I'm sure you're all dying to do. I actually love Christmas Eve. So if you do come along Christmas Eve, just wear something Christmassy maybe. I won't be able to see you anyway, but up to you. Okay, so we're going to get started. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat, guys, and get nice and comfy and have a little stretch first off. So class on a Thursday is always interesting, so we're past the middle of the week and we're sometimes a little bit stiff in the back and kind of the neck and shoulders, so we're just going to do a little warm-up just to mobilize some of those areas first, and then we get into the class. Okay, so I want you to just rest your spine down completely, really try and relax the back of your body as much as possible, and then just give the legs a little shake. So to try and encourage these bigger muscles to turn off, the quads and the hamstrings, and we're just going to try and focus on the core muscles at the moment, just to activate initially to get us going, and just to kind of warm up and mobilize. So we're going to relax our arms by the side of us for a moment, having our feet roughly hip distance. We're just going to rock our pelvis really gently, so no crazy extreme movements here, just forward and back. So you're pushing your lower back into the floor, slightly lifting your pelvis up and then rolling back the other way. So you're arching your lower back. That's it, good. Do that a couple more times, just really slowly, just checking in with the lower back to see how you're feeling. If there's any niggly, sticky parts, then just take it easy, okay? Back to somewhere in between those two positions so that we want a nice level pelvis, and then we're going to relax our arms, draw our belly in and up, and just drop that outside knee, so the front knee, down to the floor. On an inhale, slow inhale. Exhale, pull the leg back using the muscles in between your hips. So draw your belly in and up strongly and lift everything in and up as you do it. Taking the back leg down now. Inhaling, dropping the knee towards the floor. Exhaling slowly back. Now keeping that hip distance between the knees when you bring those knees back to center. Let's go again with the front leg and then exhale back. Good, keep it going. So we're just going to keep alternating. And then over a little bit of time, you might feel a little bit of shaking in the inner thigh muscles. That's just because the inner thigh muscles are linked to the pelvic floor muscles. So waking them up nice and slowly, dropping that back leg down and exhaling up. Let's just do one more each side. So inhale out. Try and keep your pelvis really level as you're doing this as well. Try not to rock from side to side. So we're just keeping everything really still and happy. Back leg drops and then comes back up. Good. Now we're going to stretch the leg long. So we're going to take our front leg out on an inhale, push the heel along the floor and flex the foot when you get to the end of the range. And then as you exhale, you just slowly come back. Slide the heel along the floor. So just try and make a really straight line with those legs. Stretch the opposite leg away now. So inhaling, stretch, flex the foot, stretch down the back of the leg, and then exhale to slowly bring it back in. This is nice and easy to get going, but it's very effective. So pushing away, let's stretch into those legs, and then exhale, slide back with the heel. So we're imagining that we're laying on a beach, and we're just pushing our heel through wet sand, feeling the sun on our bodies, just nice and relaxing and warm. Crank the heating up and then it will really feel like it, and push away again. Okay, we're going to do one more each leg and then we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. So front leg pushes and flexes with the toes. Back again. And then the back leg reaches out, stretch along, and then slide it back in. Perfect. Now we're going to bring our back leg up to tabletop. So 90-degree angle behind the knee, and then the front leg joins it. Let's take the back leg down first. And then the front leg, we're going to alternate. So draw that belly in and up, feeling strong and stable in those lower abdominals. Good, just alternating slowly. So we're just lifting that leg up in that same angle. So it's not kind of straightening and then bending again. It's just staying in that nice position all the way through. We're lifting as if it's kind of one kind of structure, I guess. So it's not changing the angle behind the knee, keeping it simple. It's what we like. Okay, a couple more here. Keep drawing the belly in and up, feeling strong. Pelvis is nice and relaxed. Let's do one more here. Lift, lift, lower, lower. Perfect. Okay, bring the hands now, interlace the fingers and take them around the back of the head so that they're resting, your thumbs are resting down the sides of your neck. And give your neck a little massage if it's feeling a little bit tight. Now, keeping the elbows wide, we're going to draw the belly in and up again. Exhale, lift our head. Now we're going to reach forwards and try and reach past the other side of the leg. So crossing the body, coming back to center, hands to head, lower down. Coming up again, exhaling, reaching to the outside of the opposite knee. Hand comes back to head and then lower. So as you lower, that's the most challenging part of the move because you've lifted up, you've held that position, and then you're controlling the descent. So you're not just dropping back to the mat. You're lowering yourselves down with a lot of control. Still keeping the pelvis nice and relaxed. Try not to rock the pelvis as you carry on doing this. So try not to kind of rock forwards and back with the pelvis like we did at the start. Just try and keep it level all the way through. And you're aiming to reach your fingers past your knees. Hands back to head and lower. Let's do a couple more here. One more each side, I think, to even up. Keeping the elbows wide, using your abdominals to lift you, not your hands. And back, this is the last one. And lower, good. Let's just hug the knees in for a second. So I don't know about you at home doing this class, but I felt that in the upper and lower abdominals. So we've warmed up most of the abdominal area now. And because we want to get a little bit warmer, we're going to go straight into our hundreds. So that's just going to get us really nice and the body temperature nice and high so we can move a bit more freely. Okay, so we'll start off with our feet on the floor. We'll take the progressions with the legs all the way through. You can step up as you go, or you can stay at a level that you're finding challenging. Okay, so we're going to reach back behind our head, have a long stretch with those arms, and then we're going to exhale, slowly bring those hands to mid-thigh, head and shoulders lifted off the floor, but shoulders down away from the ears, okay? And then start pumping the arms. So we're inhaling and exhaling. So we're inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. Now, if that feels too long, so 5 counts as too long, just try inhaling for 4 and then exhaling for 4. It doesn't matter too much. Everyone's breath cycle is a little bit different. So don't try and kind of force it, but just keep those arms going. This is going to destabilize our torso, and drawing our belly in and up is going to stabilize it. So we're fighting ourselves here. Keep reaching those hands nice and long. Nice straight wrists and elbows. Now, if you want to progress, let's take the legs to tabletop. Keeping it going. See if you can lift up a millimeter higher. Imagine you've got a small nectarine tucked underneath your chin. So you're keeping it in place, but you're not squashing it. Good. Keep that chin tucked. Looking straight through the thighs or towards the knees, but no higher. Keeping the breath going. Keep breathing. It's so important. Inhaling and exhaling. You should be feeling a bit warmer. We're about halfway. So if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, stretch the legs up to the ceiling. Keep going. I'm going to add in a little bonus at the end of this. So we're going to be in this position at the end, the legs up towards the ceiling. If you don't want to do that just yet, just hold fire. If you want more of a challenge, lower the legs. Keep it going. 3 more cycles here, and then we'll finish on our last one. So in 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5. In with the air and out with the air. Okay, for this last cycle, I want everyone to reach up towards their feet and just pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold up there. Keep breathing. Keep holding. And then slowly lower down with the head and the shoulders, hug the knees in. So we should definitely be feeling a little bit warmer now. I certainly am. Okay, so while we're here, we're going to have a little stretch for the legs. but also challenge the abdominals a little bit. But the first stretch is going to be taking those legs back up to the ceiling. This is a stretch, so we're going to pick one leg, doesn't matter which one you start with, we're going to swap them. Hold on underneath the knee or on the ankle or the calf, wherever you can grab hold of, just not on the joint, you know, the knee joint. Okay, so we're going to lift our head and our shoulders, draw our belly in and up strongly. Try and stretch the opposite leg down towards the floor. Now you want to reach that foot as far away as you can, lengthen that leg, pull the opposite leg in towards you as much as you comfortably can, no pain, just a stretch, and then we swap as quickly as we can in that middle part. Exhaling as we swap, exhaling all the air out of the lungs. Doesn't matter how far you get your leg towards your head. The aim is not to get your foot behind your ear or anything like that. Keep it going. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you want more of a challenge for our second set, hands behind the head, or leave them where they are, and we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug knees in, lower head down. Just take a little roll from side to side. Just massage the low back. Make sure it's nice and happy. Okay, holding on behind the knees. Let's roll ourselves up. So it might take 1 or 2 to come up, and then bring your feet towards the end of the mat. Okay, so we're going to do some half roll backs, build some stamina in the abdominals, stamina and strength in the abdominals, and that will help us with our roll up and roll down. So sitting really tall, holding behind the knees for the first couple of repetitions, and then you can take your hands away, or you can take your hands away right now if you know that you can do this and you want the challenge today. So we're going to sit as tall as we can, inhaling, and then as we exhale, we're just going to start to round the low back, tuck pelvis under, and just roll back about a third to half of the way. Keeping that scoop in the belly, the roundness of the spine, we roll forwards, head comes towards our knees, and then we sit up tall. One more with the hands holding the back of the legs, exhaling, round. So try and keep the upper back really relaxed on this one, and just round as much as you comfortably can. Keep the scoop and the round shape, come forwards, and then straighten nice and tall. Now, you can carry on with the hands holding onto the thighs if you want to, or reach the arms in front of you. So let's go for it. Whichever version you want to do, rolling back, drawing the abdominals in, belly in and up. Keep that round shape, dive forward, head towards the knees, and then sit up. We're going to do 3 more of these. So rolling back. Maybe go a little bit further if you think you can. Keep the scoop in the belly. Roll forwards and up. 2 to go like this, and then we're going to change it up. So rolling back. And then keeping that round scoop in the belly. Inhaling, straighten the spine. You should feel a real stretch in your abdominals as you straighten again after that, because they're compressed and drawn in here in this part of the move. And then as we roll forward, they're still contracting. And then as you lift up, they get a little rest. Okay, now we're going to just take a little bit more of a shoulder movement as we come back. So we're going to follow our hand with our eyes. We're going to sweep the arm back on an inhale, and then sweep the arm forwards on an exhale. So it's just one arm at a time. Let's go towards the back now. So we take the hand back, inhale, arm up and over, exhale, roll forward. So you're still doing a similar movement with your spine, but because you're focusing on the arm, you're not really thinking about the abdominals. So we're just distracting ourselves here. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale. So once you get used to this move, you can make it a little bit bigger if it feels okay on your shoulders. It will make you shake a little bit, especially if you're speaking at the same time. You can probably hear the shaking in my abdominals, in my voice. That means it's working, right? One more each side. Hopefully you have a little bit of room around you to do this. If you haven't, you can just improvise. You can just maybe take your arm up and then bring it down. That's going to work the same muscles. We just have to do what we can, right, to fit in with our space. Now we're going to roll back, both arms reaching out in front ideally. If you're holding on, you can do that for the rolling part, and then take the hands away once you're settled in your kind of slightly rocking position on the back of the pelvis here. So once you're here, you're going to take both arms forward past that front knee. They're still about shoulder distance. And then we're just going to take them up and down. Up, oh, that's the hard bit, and down. 5 times. We have 3 more to go. Just breathe, guys. However you can to get through this. Oh, I think it's 1 more. Good, back to center, all the way to the other side. Hands come up and down. Now, if you're feeling it in your lower back, just come up a little bit higher, yeah? So you're not quite putting as much pressure or stress on the low back. Couple more. I think 2 more here. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale, back to center. Oh, everyone's desperate to come back up, right, guys? Forwards and rest. We can just take a little rest forwards, open out the knees. And just let the lower back relax. So that's quite intense on the lower back, but it's really good for building strength in these muscles that support the spine. But we will stretch them out a little bit now. So we're going to take our legs as straight as we can. And we're going to do the full roll down and roll up. If you need to modify, you can always bend your knees or put your hands behind your low back. However you need to, just don't throw yourself up in the air. So we're going to do 4 full roll up, roll down. So count of 8, as always. So lifting the crown of the head up as much as you can, taking an inhale, leveling through the spine. Exhaling for 8, 7, 6, 5. Relax the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach back and relax and enjoy. Okay, coming back up is always a little bit harder, so we have to squeeze everything into the center of the body. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the knees, squeeze the feet and the ankles. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale. Draw belly in and up. Keep rounding the spine and then sit tall when you get there, or you can reach forward and have a little stretch if you feel like you need that in the back of the legs. Then we're going to keep the rounded shape rather than straightening each time now. We're going to keep that rounded shape and roll back into it. Good, keep it going. Still squeezing those knees, ankles, glutes. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, coming up. Good, keep reaching. Keep rounding. Forwards, have a little rest once you get there. And then keep that rounded skippiness. And back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach back with the arms. Enjoy the stretch. We've got 2 more, I think. So let's enjoy it. Exhale, coming up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going back again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One last time, all the way up and all the way down. Squeeze everything. Exhale to come up. Inhale to stretch forwards. Exhale to go back again. So what you might find, all the way back down, is that you've moved, you've shifted up the mat. That kind of happens, and it does sometimes pull your pants down as well. So you might have to just readjust your clothing. Okay, like I just had to. And then just move your body back to the center of the mat. And then we're just going to bring our feet flat on the floor and the knees bent. We're going to do a couple of shoulder bridges. So we're going to bring our feet a little bit closer than they would normally be, but still at a level where it's comfortable for your knees so they're not squashed. Hands down by the side of your hips, palms facing down. Activate the upper arms, release the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, start to peel the pelvis away. So using your arms to help you, and your arms will help you kind of lift in an even way as well, because we're going to push down, feel that tension in the back of the arms, and lift up. We're only coming up just as high as we make a nice straight line from our knees to our head. We don't need to lift the hips up crazy high and do some kind of back bend. This is not a yoga class, okay? So we're going to keep it nice and aligned for our spines. That's really, really important. So talking of alignment, make sure your feet are hip distance. You can always shift them in slightly, even in the lifted position. And you want to hold this great alignment even while we lift one knee. You don't have to do this lifting knee part. If you don't want to, you can just hold here, but if you do want to lift one knee, you're going to take the leg in and stretch it up towards the ceiling as straight as you can get it, and then we tap down, so we sweep all the way down with the heel, just touch the floor and then flick it back up. Just 3 times. Tap down, exhale, lift. One more, keep pushing down on both arms and flick it up. Now we bend that knee, place it back where it was, hip distance, bring the front leg up, straighten. Let's tap down. 3, 2, and 1. All the way back down, bend the knee, lift both hips up. Take and exhale, slowly melt the spine down, really, really slowly. One section at a time. Might feel a little bit wobbly, that's okay. And once you get back to the floor, you should feel a little bit of activation in the back of the legs, maybe in the front of the legs as well, depending on what other exercise you've been doing. So if your muscles are a bit tired, you might feel it more. Okay, let's come up again, exhaling. Using those hands on the floor to lift you, support you, anchor you. Good. Now this time we've got another leg option, a little bit different. So we're going to take the leg, let's take the front leg up to the ceiling, and then we're just going to bring the leg down so that it's level with the opposite leg. Then we're just going to take the leg out to the side and back 5 times. Small movement. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's hard. Okay, so bend that knee, place the foot back down. Let's go straight to the other side. Take the leg up, lower, nice and slowly, so the knees are level, and out to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back in. Push both hips up. You can always just use your hands to push them up. Hands come back to the floor. We stay here and inhale. And exhale, melt down super slow. So because our glutes are getting a little bit tired there, actually I think it's harder to do that second movement because we're having to stabilize as well as taking the leg out. So well done if you got through it. Let's just hug the knees in. Good. And then we're going to take a little sideline twist. So we're going to have our knees together and feet together, either on the floor with the feet or in your tabletop, arms out to the side. Okay, so let's bring our knees forwards as far as they'll go, but without lifting your back shoulder. So even if they don't come to the floor, it doesn't matter. Enjoy that side stretch, should feel good. Exhale, squeeze the legs together, push down on the arms, lift the knees up using your side waist. Over to the back, inhaling. Feel that stretch. Only go as far as feel comfortable. Do not force this, okay? No need. Exhale, push down on the elbows, push down on the shoulders. Back to center. Forward again. Forward we go again. Inhale, you might come a little bit lower this time. Take a couple of breaths there and then exhale again. Back through center. So the idea here is to keep both shoulders down the whole time. Over to the back again. Now this is the last one, so when we come back to center, we're going to change the movement. Exhaling back to center. Good. Now you want a little bit of room behind you if you're going to do a full rollover, so you might need to shift down the mat a little bit, especially if you have obstacles. So if you don't want to do rollover, we haven't done rollover for a little while actually. It's a really good stretch for the back, but also the outer hips. So if you've got any niggles in your lower back, if you've got a really tight lower back or anything going on there, you might not want to do the full rollover today, but you'll have an option to just do little mini kind of low abdominal lifts. So back into this stretched leg position towards the ceiling. If you're not a fan of this position, sorry, we've got a few of these today. Okay, so I have to say though, whatever you're not a fan of is usually the move that you really need. I used to avoid certain movements when I first started doing Pilates, and it was always the movements that my body actually needed because I found them challenging. So try and master the things that you don't really like is always the way, I think. So we're going to cross the ankles one over the other. Use your hands. You can tuck your hands slightly underneath your bottom. If you do have any lower back issues, that's just going to give you an extra bit of padding and support there. And then you're going to exhale and just lift the feet up towards the ceiling. So you push down with your hands and try and reach up with your feet. Now it's a small movement, so you don't have to come miles off the floor, but you do want to feel this in your lower abdominals, and they're doing the work. So you've got to exhale to lift. If you're not exhaling, you're not lifting. Okay, so you can stay with this, or if you want to do the full rollover, hands are going to come by the side, not underneath you this so much. And let's just bring our feet to hip distance, flex the feet. Okay, so we're going to take our legs down slightly, inhaling. Exhale, we push down and push our legs over our head. Now, it doesn't matter if your feet don't touch the floor. It is flexibility dependent, and I'm quite flexible, so that's why I find it sort of easy. But if you're not quite there on the floor, it doesn't matter. You just want to feel the stretch on the back of the body and the outside of the hips. Now, to come back down, this is the bit where we're going to use our abdominals. We push down on the floor and slowly control the descent of the hips. Now, sometimes you might want to lift your head, and that's okay if that helps you to control it, that's fine. Just don't come up too high, okay? We're going to do 3 more. Or you're carrying on with the lifting and you can just cross different ankles. So take the other one on top and do your little mini lifts. Otherwise, let's go for some rollovers. So inhale, lower down. Exhale, push into the floor, up and over. Oh, such a nice stretch. Now bring the feet together to come back down. So we roll over with the feet hip distance. We roll back with the feet together. So good today. Okay, let's do 2 more. Exhale, up and over. And down. So you might feel a little bit shaky on that descent. That's okay. The more you try, the better you get, the more control you have. It's all good. As long as it feels nice, it's a bonus, right? Okay, so we're going to hug the knees in. We've done our 4. You've done your mini lifts. You've worked your lower abdominals quite a bit. So we're going to hold on behind the knees and roll up to seated to do some more rolling. So feet towards the end of the mat. How are we doing for time? We're good. So feet towards the end of the mat. Bring the feet in. If it's really uncomfortable to bring your feet in like this, you can always leave them out. Okay, you can always leave them out a bit further. And even when we roll back, you know, keeping your legs in that 90-degree angle and rolling like that. If that works better for you, then do that. I just prefer it to be kind of tucked in, and that's just my preference. So that's how I teach it. But if it works better for you and you can still roll and you get a good massage on your spinal muscles, then do it how it works for you. The only thing I would say is just to keep your chin tucked in. That little nectarine that we had in between our chin and our chest stays there and it doesn't get squashed. Okay, so let's roll back round the spine. Balance on your sit bones if you don't want to roll, and hold here. Draw belly in and up. Inhale back. Exhale up. Inhale back. Exhale up. Now let's keep it as one movement. So we're not kind of stopping at the top. We're just carrying on. Rolling and rolling. Keep drawing the belly in and up. 2 more. 1 more to go. Okay, we're going to try the seal. We did that, I think, last week or the week before. So the knees come out to the side, the feet are together. Your hands go underneath and grab the outside of your ankles. Again, if you don't want to roll, you can just balance, lean back, take the feet off the floor and hold here and just keep this hold, and that's just going to work the same muscles. If you want to be a bit more dynamic, we're going to clap 3 times with the feet, roll back, clap 3 times, roll back up. Try it 3 times. If you only get to 2, it doesn't matter. Good. Now, if you want a little challenge and you've got room at the end of your mat, we're going to come up to standing, okay? But to help us get there, we need a bit of momentum. So I'm going to do it first, you can follow. Clap, clap, clap. Feet come down and we stand up. You can't see me now. But it was just a little bit of fun. If you want to try it and you have the space, as long as you've got room behind you, just in case you don't quite make it up, that's fine. Just thought I'd throw it in there. But we're going to come back down to the mat again now. So enough fun and games. Okay, so let's roll down to the floor. We're going to either hold on behind our knees or stretch the legs out and take a full roll down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A little bit of double leg stretch. just a bit more abdominals for you and crisscross, and then we're going to move on to side legs and body. So double leg stretch, we hug in everything into a small bulb, but it's a little bit easier for this one because no rolling. So no rolling, we keep the torso still, we keep the spine and the ribs in contact with the mat the whole time. It's just the arms and legs that move. So we're going to inhale, reach out. Exhale, sweep the arms around, hug knees in. Inhale out. Exhale back. Now the lower you go with the legs, the more you challenge yourself. Reach and sweep in. Inhale out. Exhale back. 4 more. You choose your level. 3 to go. Keep the legs together, knees together. 2 more. Less intensity. Just take the legs up towards the ceiling. Good. Excellent. 1 foot down, other foot down. Hands behind the head. Crisscross time. Okay, so level 1. We're going to exhale to the right. Shoulder towards the knee. Back to center. Keep that lift in the head and shoulders. And over to the left. So this is level 1. The opposite foot pushes down into the floor as you lift one knee. If you want a little bit more, or you just feel that you want that kind of extra instability challenge, because this one's a bit more stable, then you just take one knee in towards you, opposite leg to 45, and then swap. So your legs stay off the floor, or your feet, should I say. Good, keep it going. Just keep alternating for 8, 7, 6, shoulder to knee, not elbow. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Hug knees. Okay, roll onto your side. Doesn't matter which side. We're going to do them both. So we're going to lay out on our sides and work into the obliques and a little bit into the hips and glutes. So stacking each part of the body, so stacking hips, knees and ankles is going to just make sure that we're nice and straight and aligned. Feet come forwards, hands can be resting on the floor, on your hip, or in the air for more challenge, okay? So those are options for your arms. Hands underneath your head, just make sure your neck's long and not squashed. Top leg comes up. You're going to kick forward and back first, so forwards and back. We're not pulsing this time, we're just going for it. Forward and back, just swinging, but the upper body's not swinging. So belly lifted in and up, squeeze both sides of your bottom, and keep your leg hip distance. So it's horizontal line rather than taking it up. We're not thinking about height. We're trying to sweep a nice line along the wall. Good. 3 more. Inhale forward, exhale back. Should feel nice. And back. Now we're going to keep that leg back, and then we're going to lift it up and lower. Again, probably about double hip height, not too high. So think length rather than height. Reach long out of the hip. Still keep squeezing both sides of your bottom, just gently. And then you should start to feel this. I'm feeling it already. We've only done about 4 or 5. Should start to feel this on the outer hip. And if you're not quite feeling it yet, stretch the leg further away. Even grab the hip and push the hip down. Okay, so that's just going to keep everything nice and aligned. Going on about alignment today, but it's really important. Actually works a lot harder. I'm just holding my own hip and it feels more intense. So if you're not sure, you're not feeling it, just try this option. If you have found that challenge and you want to balance challenge a bit more, take that top arm up. We're going to do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to tap forwards with that leg, kick it up and tap back. Ooh, okay, I'm feeling that now. Woo! It's getting tough. So take it up as high as you can. You can go a little bit higher on this one. Exhale as you flick the leg up. That's just going to really get that leg high. And then we're just tapping in front and back of that bottom leg. 4 more. and 3, and 2, and 1. Ooh, bring that knee forward and just give the hip or the glute around there a little bit of a tap if it feels tight. Let's flick to the other side. Shortens up this one. We've got some back to do and we're running out of time. Okay, so feet forward, body in line with the back of the mat. You're in a nice straight line. Find a comfortable position for your head and neck. Make sure you can breathe. Okay, squeeze bottom, squeeze knees together, ankles together. Top leg comes up, fingers resting on the floor or in the air, wherever you want them, forward and back. Now you're going to find that one side feels better than the other. But to help, if you're struggling on this side, just push that foot down that's on the floor to anchor you to your mat. And try not to move your upper body. Keep breathing, keep lifting the belly in and up. Keep stretching the leg long out of the hip. And keep the shoulders relaxed. So much to think about. Pilates looks easy, but it's actually quite challenging to connect all of those muscles to your brain and move really precisely. It's the only time we really do, to be honest. A lot of the time we're on automatic, aren't we? Just moving around the house and doing work and walking to the shops, and we don't really think about it because we don't need to. It's kind of automatic. But Pilates is really intentional, kind of precision type movements, just to bring everything back into balance, mainly. Okay, so bringing that leg back, we're going to lift and lower, push the hip down if you need to, and lift. Feels better on this side for me today. Keep it going. Exhale, exhale. So gentle squeeze on both sides of your bottom, just gentle. Don't try and crack a walnut there or anything. Flick it up with an exhale. Bring it down. So this is strengthening the muscles around our hips, and this is just going to help to keep our pelvis really stable and safe and strong. Ooh, starting to burn now. Don't know how everyone's feeling out there in the internet world. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And now I know it's the final insult, isn't it? But lift and lower. As if we haven't done enough of this fire burning exercise. Oh. Okay, so fingers resting in front, shoulders relaxed, or arm reaching up to the ceiling. Just try and keep your upper body really relaxed. Try not to tense up anywhere else. I know we're trying to kind of tense up around our glutes right now, but everywhere else needs to be pretty relaxed. Just keep the belly lifted in and up. 4 more. It's always 4 more, isn't it? 3, 2, and 1. Might have added an extra one there, but never mind. Knee comes forward. Give it a little tap. Ooh, okay, those muscles get really tight and get quite tired quite quickly. So we just move on to something else now. So upper back muscles. Now, they are quite overstretched in a lot of us and quite weak in a lot of us. So I want to focus on some exercises now that don't seem like we're doing a lot, but we're going to do a lot of them. Okay, so that's just going to build strength and stamina in our upper back. So we're going to bring our elbows out in line with our shoulders roughly. They can be a little bit higher, and our palms are flat down. So now our head is just right in the center of those arms, and we're just slightly lifted away from the floor, but our neck is really long. Now all I want you to think about is relaxing the legs. So just give them a little shake and tell them to relax. Keep your belly lifted slightly in and up, and then we're going to lift our upper back. So we're going to draw our shoulders down away from our ears first. That's the most important thing. Then we're going to activate those muscles by squeezing the shoulder blades gently, slightly together. And then we're going to lift up away from the floor, but keep our hands down on the floor. So we lift up and hold here. Just breathe normally. Feel those upper back muscles keeping you lifted. Obviously, you're pushing down on your arms as well, but not really extremely. And then we just lower down, keeping that tension, and then relaxing when you get there. So your face is about a centimetre or so off the floor. Now come back up again. Reactivate those back muscles first, and then squeeze and lift. So again, it's not about coming up high. It's just about really focusing in on those tiny little muscles in the back of the body, some of them bigger than others, and then lower down. Let's go again. Lift and hold. Squeeze slightly with those shoulder blades towards each other, just a small pinch towards each other, not a real kind of strong contraction, and then lower. So let's keep it going, just lifting and lowering. We're going to do 4 more like this. Try and keep the neck really long, chin slightly tucked so that we're not bringing our neck into the party. We want to keep the neck muscles relaxed and really just focus on upper middle back. Let's do 2 more like this. So you might be feeling this already, and that's good if you are. You can carry on with doing this, or if you want a little bit more, we're going to lift up, same way we did. Then we're going to lift our hands away from the floor, extend the arms back, bring them back to the bent position, and then lower down. So we lift, hands on the floor, then we lift the hands, then we straighten the arms back behind us, thumbs face up, hands come back to that bent position, and then lower. Keep it going. Lift, reach back, come back to the floor and lower. Now we're going to just lift straight up with the hands off the floor if you want to, or you can keep them down for longer. So everything lifts, we stretch back, hands come back to the bent position, or the arms, and then lower. Lift, reach, back, lower down. 4 more. Lift, reach, back, lower. 3, reach, back, lower. 2 more. Lift, reach, back, lower. 1 more. Lift, reach, back, lower. Now we're going to lift up, reach the arms out so they're in line with the shoulders, a bit like an aeroplane. If there's too much, place the fingertips down on the floor. Otherwise, keep the hands lifted. And we're going to turn to the right and look up, lift the right arm up as high as you can. A little mini twist for the upper back. Hand comes down to the floor as you lift left arm and look up, follow. So your eyes just follow your fingers. And your hips both stay down. And you just turn your head nice and gently. And just opening up through the front ribs. Let's just do 1 more each side, slowly, slowly. Right arm up. And left arm. Good. Bring the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. See if you can push yourself up straight into a plank or a knee plank. So knee plank here or full plank here. I'm just going to shift myself forward a bit. Okay, so we're holding in plank, feeling strong in the shoulders, and if you want to do the leg pull, you can join in with me. So you're going to lift right leg, rock back, rock forwards, place the right leg down. Lift left leg, rock, back, down. 1 more time each side. Right, back, down, left, back, down. Knees come to the floor, sit yourself back into your child's pose. So really feel that stretch in the lower back. We work the back of the body quite strongly there, so you might feel this. Hopefully it feels good though, rather than not so good. Okay, a little stretch now for us. So we're going to take our right hand out to the outside of the mat, bring the left hand on top, so interlace the fingers, and then turn and look under your right armpit. So this is stretching the left upper body, outside of the upper body. We just use our arms and upper back quite a bit, so just have a little stretch here and then swap. So left hand outside of the mat, right hand on top, turn to your left. Hands come back to where they started, so shoulder distance. Slowly slide the hands back as you uncurl the spine, section by section. Sitting up nice and tall. I think we're out of time. 1:15. Okay, guys, it's nice to see, excuse me, so many of you signed in today. I hope you enjoyed the class. Like I said at the start, there is no class next week, but there is one on Christmas Eve. So hopefully you can make it. It'd be so nice to see all of you on the 24th at the same time, 12:30. So you'll be done by 1:15 to enjoy the rest of Christmas Eve. Have a great week. Take care. Keep up the Pilates if you're doing any practice at home, and I'll see you soon.